Hey everyone, welcome back to Discovering NL with Kevin. I'm Kevin. Alright, so before we get started with today's video, I just want to let you all know that this Saturday, this week, and of course the 2024 AFL Grand Final Live will be happening. I'm going to be watching it, and I'll be right here streaming my reaction as I watch it. So be sure to check it out. Click on the link just up where that little picture is up in the corner, this one here, and be sure to get notified for when I go live and watch it with me. Now, obviously, I can't stream the game, so I don't want to give any false assumptions of what's going to happen. I'm going to be watching the game, but I will have updates. In fact, let me show you what I have set up just for that. This right here is a preview of what you can expect to see. Now, in just a moment, right over here, there is a, right there we go. That's going to actually detail the entire game as we're watching it. It's going to show you all the stuff that's happening. And of course, we'll be keeping track of the goals, behinds, and scores, as well as the time on this stream as well. And I'm going to be watching it. Hopefully you can join me and watch it with me. Maybe you're in a place where you can't watch the game. You can certainly keep up with the game here on my live stream. So be sure to check that out this Saturday. And that is 2 p.m. AEST in Australia. Now, you can even join me on camera to talk about the game as it unfolds. That's right. You want to join me on camera? I'll send you a link. You can join me right here on the live stream as we watch the game together and talk about how this game is going. It's going to be epic. So, whether you're backing the Swans or the Lions, get ready to tune in and chat with me live. Now, the 2024 AFL Grand Final overview is this. Stage is set for the 129th AFL Grand Final, happening this Saturday at the legendary Melbourne Cricket Ground. That's right, the Sydney Swans will face off against the Brisbane Lions in a showdown to crown the champions of the 2024 AFL season, and this game is going to be massive. You're not going to want to miss it. Now, let's talk about the teams for a second here. We get the Sydney Swans. Now, Sydney had a killer 2024 season, finishing on top of the ladder with a 17-6 record. Now, they cruised through the finals, defeating GWS in the qualifying round, and then, of course, Port Adelaide in the prelim. Now they're back on the biggest stage after losing to Geelong in 2022. This time, they're hungry for redemption. Now, on the other side, we have the Brisbane Lions, who finished 5th with a 14-8-1 record. They've been on fire in the finals, pulling off an insane comeback win over GWS in the semifinal, and then another comeback against Geelong in the prelim. And, well, the GWS game, if you haven't seen the highlights for that yet, you have to go watch it. I'm not rooting for the Lions, or sorry, I did it again. Oh, I was doing good. I'm not cheering for or barracking or supporting the Lions, but man, when I watched that game, I was, because it was insane to see them come back from such a huge deficit. Now, the Lions are definitely going to be chasing their 4th AFL premiership, and the first since 2003, when they completed a three-peat. It's going to be exciting to see what happens. Now, this matchup is historic. It's the first time these two teams are meeting in an AFL Grand Final, and it's got everyone buzzing. Plus, it's the first time in nearly 20 years that both Grand Final teams are from outside Victoria, which I think is pretty cool when I learn about that. Now, you from Victoria might not agree. So don't forget to mark your calendars. Game kicks off at 2:30 p.m. AEST. I know I said too earlier. 2:30 p.m. AEST on Saturday. But don't forget, there is pregame entertainment, which kicks off between 1 and 1:30, featuring none other than pop star Katy Perry. And I watched an interview she did, and I might play a bit of that today, or I might not. I don't know. We'll see how long this video goes on for. But she did an interview, and it was great, getting to see what she has in store. So there's a lot of tradition that follows the AFL Grand Final as well. Here are some of the key highlights to look out for. If Brisbane wins, the legendary Leigh Matthews, I think it's Lee, L-E-I-G-H, Brisbane's triple premiership coach, will hand over the cup. Now, if Sydney takes it, the former Swans captain, Stuart Maxfield, will present the trophy. Steve Johnson is set to present the Norm Smith Medal for the best on-ground player, and David Parkin will give out the Jock McHale Medal to the winning coach. Oh, and don't forget the grand final sprint. It's a 100-meter dash where one player from each AFL club competes. And that'll happen just before the game, so keep an eye out for that. Now, we can talk odds. Let's do that for a second, because I think it's important to understand the odds when comparing the two teams. Now, right now, as of now, Sydney has a slight favor over Brisbane with $1.75 odds to win, which basically means if you bet $1 and Sydney wins, you're getting $1.75, whereas Brisbane sits at $2.10. Now, we all know how unpredictable finals in footy can be, so while that is the odds, it really could go either way. Now, as for the Norm Smith medal, we've got some front runners here in terms of odds. Isaac Heaney is at $5, Lachie Neale at $6, and Chad Warner at $8 in the odds of who is going to win. Now, predicting the outcome of the 2024 AFL Grand Final between Sydney Swans and Brisbane Lions is tricky, but based on team form and historical performance, here's what I think is going to happen. I think that Sydney Swans are going to win. And I think, and I've watched a lot of videos of people doing these predictions, and great videos, but I think Sydney's going to win it. And I think the score is going to be somewhere around 92 Sydney, 83 Brisbane. Now, let me know in the comments who you think is going to win. We're going to watch a video of a couple of pros talking about who they think is going to win. And I want to know in the comments who you think is going to win this finals on Saturday. Now, here's my reasoning behind it. I think the Sydney Swans have been consistent throughout the 2024 season, finishing first on the ladder, showing strong performances in the finals, and their ability to control games and convert forward entries into goals could really give them that edge. Now, Brisbane Lions have had an impressive run, don't get me wrong, especially with their comeback victories, but Sydney's defense and experience in finals could pose a serious challenge for Brisbane. Sydney's key players like Isaac Heaney and Chad Warner might make a big impact in tight moments of this game, while Brisbane's Lachie Neale will certainly fight to keep the Lions in the contest. In the finals, though, anything can happen. But based on form, I think the Swans might have the advantage by a very narrow margin. Going to be an amazing game. So be prepared for that. In the meantime, let's take a look and see what some of the pros have to say about the game. And don't forget, of course, while you're here, go ahead and like the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. Without further ado, let's take a look and see what Kingy and Joey had to say, but who they think is going to win in the finals. Here we go.
It's going to be kept alive by Myers.
I haven't watched this yet, so I have no idea what the predictions are. This was an insane play, by the way. I remember watching this. See? Boom. Yeah. Look at this kick, and then boom.
It's a goal! Can you believe that? It was Henry that kicked it from the pocket. Ridiculous.
Myers chases frantically, tapped it back in, socketed a goal, and got there! Only Henry! The cross from Myers was straight out of FIFA!
Look at that photo, man. Wow. What a capture.
Ah, yes, very nice, Jared.
That was a moment, eh? It's funny how things revisit on you, isn't it? The watch lists. The watch list. David King, hello.
Hello, Jared.
Lee Montagna, welcome.
Long time to embrace it, Jared. I'm glad you
It took me a year. I got there at last. Righto, so you've each taken a team here and you're going to present a big asset, a match winner and a threat as we head towards the grand final. Kingy, you've got the honour with Sydney.
I've got the Swans, and for the Swans to win, I think they can turn into a bit of a foot race. I think they get them for speed on the outside, and if it's not a kicking contest, and they can kick and run, catch and go, and try and force the Lions, who've been on the road, played 3 games in a row. They've only played the 2 Sydney. They're going back-to-back travels. Make them defend for long periods, whether that's uncontested marking or out and go and run and see if they can come with you. Because they have
that's another factor too that you got to consider.
Make everyone defend.
Those back-to-back
look at this sort of
road
play here,
games.
which we've shown from last week. So McInerney, I think, is a major player in this. Major player. The focus on the big three. So you've got to defend every player here. So Port can't drop off anyone because their kicking skills will swing it back into the corridor as quick as you know it. So McInerney just embarrasses Wines for 10 steps. And that's all it takes. With the way they play, one lets you down, they're through.
Look at
So it's
this.
only 3 metres.
He's already
here,
there, ready
4
to go,
metres
ready
there.
for that pass.
You think you got them, but you absolutely haven't got them. If they get 100 marks, they're 10 from 10. Goulden, has Burgoyne absolutely got him locked away here, or is he just sort of in the area? You know what?
I love this technology.
They want to get it to Heaney. They want to get it to Warner. They want to get it to Goulden. So
I mean, it looks like a video game because of it, right? The technology is so cool.
The whole length of the ground. Now, Parker's playing a role. That'll be on Harris Andrews.
I love this play. I remember this
dragging
play.
him back to the square if possible, and then you get one-on-one again. So you've got to defend the whole forward 50 lead. So I think they can run it and make it a physical challenge for Brisbane to come with them, given their run into the grand final versus Sydney's.
Who is your match winner?
Well, I think it's obvious, and everyone's talking about Isaac Heaney. I mean, I think it's been the singular best magnet move that I've seen for a decade. To go from a pseudo centre-half forward, 70% forward, 30% on-ball role, to pretty much 100% midfielder this year has been an absolute boom. And he gets you in so many different ways. I mean, he starts the fire in a clearance. He's one of those guys that's a tackle breaker. And then as soon as he's won the ball, he then just rolls forward. So all of his clearances are rolling clearances. So if you're not clamping him or aware of him, and Dunkley will probably get the job, if you haven't got him covered, this is what he does. He's destructive, he's a big frame, he's a big body, he's a beautiful kick, he's a beautiful mover. But at clearance, you've got to be on your game. And just watch the reaction here from Tom Green. He's ready for it, but he knows, oh, no, he's gone and got out the front. I love that.
Your best lab work.
Yeah, it took me weeks to find that. But this is what we're talking about, Joey, last week when we were saying about the mismatch. They know what he's like against like types or smaller. So in terms of being a target, of the top 80 targeted forwards in the competition, he's the best in the competition at turning a target entry into a goal. 40% of entries. And this here, the two best kicks inside 50 at retaining possession are Warner and Heaney. So if he gets it, he finishes it. So I know he's such a big talking point, but there's a reason. Yeah, what he does goes on the scoreboard. And if you're looking to tag someone, everyone's talking about Goulden, potentially Warner. Heaney's the one.
Okay. And the threat?
Well, the threat, and again, when you get to this stage of the year, the focus is really narrow, and everyone's probably looking at the same sorts of things, is that Brisbane have now been able to go from a control game to a chaos game. So they're a dual threat now. Whether it was just kick and catch and work the ball.
We saw that in their
now they can play chaos and they can attack the corridor. And their corridor ball movement has been unbelievable the last couple of weeks. We saw it live, Joey, a couple of weeks ago when they had to have it 7 goals down. But this,
I mean, I think Sydney got it, but I don't think it's going to be an easy game at all.
Go through that part of the ground with such ease. So, they really went to town on Geelong in that second half, and their ball movement was terrific. They were able to score 9 times in the defensive half, which is just huge. And it's more about the attitude that no margin's too big now. You really don't want to lead halfway through the third quarter in this game. You'd rather be 2 goals behind because you can play like this. We've got nothing to lose. We don't have to save the game. We don't have to play with a calmness. Have a look at this. Just back into the middle, that's an aggressive kick. And then again, another aggressive kick and gone. So I like the fact that they've got this gear in them and that they are now a dual threat with chaos and control. So their ball movement's always been really solid, but it's been sort of slow rather than fast. But no, this is going to be some game.
If they both go at chaos, it will be.
Yeah, I don't think there's a choice. Yeah.
I'm excited for this game, like insanely excited. I hope you are as well.
Brisbane Lions out for us with an asset.
Yeah, well, King, you almost just touched on it. We sort of know how Brisbane want to play, but I think one of their biggest assets that might have just snuck under the radar, but Kingy just harped on it then about their change of gears. Early in the year, we spoke about the Sydney Swans horsepower and their ability to break a game open in 20 minutes. They put the foot down and they kick a winning score and the game's over. Well, it's actually been Brisbane that have done that in the back half of the season. So I just want to step through their last 6 or 7 games.
That's why I say there's
how quickly they
going to
can
be a
break your heart. So
really tight competition because they're both of them.
Final. In a 38-minute patch from that third quarter to early in the last, it was 7 goals to 1. They broke the game open. The week before against the comeback against the Giants, look at that last quarter. 27 minutes patch in that fourth quarter. They outscored 5 goals to 0. So when they put the foot down, I don't think there's any team in the competition that can go with them. We know about the first quarter or the first half, really, against Carlton. It was game over. But then they can do it late in games as well. So Essendon, they did it early in the game as well, 6-1. Collingwood, same thing. Started, that was the only game they let slip, but they blew it open early with a 6-1 first quarter. And St Kilda and the Giants, they have done it too as well. So this team has got the ability, when they put the foot down, no team has been able to go with them. And they can do it at the start of the game because they are the best first quarter team in the competition by a mile. Or now we've seen it that if they are 2, 3, 4 goals down, they can do it in a rush. And not just kick goals, but they can restrict the opposition. They can actually own a game. So I think that is a massive asset to have coming into this grand final because no matter the circumstances, they'll feel they're in this contest. If they can put Sydney to the sword early, sets them up. If they're chasing, they know they can do it. So I think it's a massive weapon and it's going to be a real asset come grand final day.
So you're like-minded with Robbo here on your match winner?
I think it's Cam Rayner, yeah. I mean, he was the match winner in the prelim, wasn't he? And I just think that he is ready to rip.
He was phenomenal too. I love watching him play. I kept my eye on him.
This week, 6 of his top 10 rated games have come in the back half of this year. He is now playing at levels that are the best of Cam Rayner. I mean, we even flagged Kingy on Saturday night on First Crack. Cam Rayner has the potential to be the next Isaac Heaney. In a year or two, he could become a permanent midfielder and may become the best player in the competition. He's got that in him. But I reckon he's got a weapon here against Sydney. I'm not sure the Swans have a real good matchup for him when you think about it. So is it Nick Blakey? I'm not sure. I reckon Archie will try and get to the back of Blakey. This was the last time they played. Is it Rampy? I don't think Rampy's the right matchup because Rayner loves to get up high, get involved in the stoppages. So does that mean it's a Florent or a Roberts? Which I think will suit Cam Rayner because he has had some good numbers the last 3 times these sides have played. So this was round 19, his best game of his career, highest rated game with the 2 goals, 20 disposals. He had 6 clearances and he played like a man, didn't he? Third broke it open.
It's amazing. So Roberts is a key magnet, right?
He's going to have to play on one of them.
He's going to play on someone, isn't he?
Yep.
Now, does he go to a Zorko at one end or does he go to Cam Rayner up the other?
Yeah,
for example?
he's played in defence. He's going to be a defender. So I think they'll keep their back 7 with Florent and Roberts, with Blakey, and then the tools. Of course, Cunningham will get Charlie Cameron. So I just think that Cam Rayner's the one to watch because he's feeling good about himself, and I don't reckon he's got a great matchup to suit.
And what is your threat?
Well, the threat, I think, no doubt, without big Oscar McInerney, is what can happen at clearance because it was a big advantage coming into this game. The Brisbane Lions have been a great clearance differential team for the year. Second best in the competition. It allows them to either score or play the game in their front half because that's what they love to do, get the ball in their forward half and own it. And Sydney are only sort of a mid-table team at clearance differential. But where the threat is posed is Sydney, when they do win a clearance, are the best team in the competition at scoring from it. So if they can break even now without the big Oscar McInerney, Brisbane struggle to defend clearance when they lose it. So they don't really lose a heap of clearances, as we said, because they generally win more than they lose. But if they do, they can get scored against. And they got outscored heavily in this game against the Sydney Swans. And
that's a key factor as well. I mean, I'm sure Sydney Swans have been working on this part of their game.
And Waters, and the other boys react. As soon as they get their hands on it, they are off. And this speed might challenge the Brisbane midfield. You know, Neil, Ashcroft, Dunkley, Berry. Do they have the leg speed, if Sydney can get their hands on it first, to be able to contain them? Because Sydney outscored them by 19 points at stoppage in this game.
So what does Ford have to do? What do you think he has to bring against Grundy? Is he a good tap ruckman? Is he just a bullocking, competitive ruckman, just lock bodies with Grundy for the game?
He's just got to break even with Grundy. That's a good result. The problem was with McInerney. McInerney could probably have dominated Grundy.
Oh, he
has in the
good
past.
player.
So that's probably where they're losing out. They're not going to get the dominance out of the clearance game. Now they just need Fort to break even and hope they can get to work. But it's just a threat to keep an eye on. If Sydney do win clearance, they can hurt Brisbane the other way.
Just one question on that. You know, when you guys talk about midfields, setups in the middle, when you've got a dominating ruckman, you set up a certain way.
You can be more aggressive. You can be more assertive.
So how negative does the Brisbane Lions midfield have to be this week, which changes their entire attitude?
It's a great question.
In the centre square.
It's a great question because they could be assertive with Oscar McInerney. They generally would get his hands on it more than not. Now the question is, how assertive are they?
They might have to shuffle around a couple of metres.
Be a little bit more conservative.
Change it.
All right, big thanks. We leave Wednesday night smarter every week for the watch list. So thank you for your efforts right throughout the year, and good luck on Saturday at the MCG, part of Fox
with their point of views.
Good on you. Lee Montagna and David King with us on the watch.
That's Kingy and Joey arguing their case. I want to know what you think. What do you think about what they had to say, and what do you think about the game? I will say this: a shout out to Michelle in the Discord. She helped me get my hands on this, and I just printed it off yesterday. It is the 2024 AFL Grand Final record. Yeah, it's lots of material to read. It was like some 240 odd pages, I think it was. Of course, lots of ads and stuff, but yeah, 200. What was this last page? That's 230, and there's a few more after that. I think it was 242. But of course, it's got a lot in here. I've never heard of this until this year. But it gives you really cool breakdowns of the players and, you know, all that kind of fun stuff. And of course, the season as well. And yeah, good. I've started reading it. I'm going to be reading it a bit more before the final starts, the grand final. But I want to know in the comments who you got, who's winning it, who's taking it home. I have been waiting for team selection. Oh, sorry, that was Katy Perry. I have been waiting for the team selection stuff to come out. I haven't seen anything from Brisbane as of yet, but I did find this one here. So this is the grand final team selection presented by QBE for the Sydney Swans. Let's watch this together.
Team selection brought to you by QBE.
Right off the bat, here we go. This is a pause, a break. Take a look and see what they got. All right. Are you ready? Look at those names.
John Longmire, grand final up against Brisbane. What is the team?
No change this week.
That's great news, but just how disappointing was it, or how hard was it, rather, to leave Callum Mills out?
Yeah, look, really difficult for Millsy, no question.
And this is going to be a deciding factor too, by the way.
He needed to do it trained absolutely flat
as well,
out. And,
against the Swans, because it's a big name.
The emotion of it and looked at it and thought, you know, the challenges of getting through 4 quarters was always going to be there, and had to make the tough call. It was a tough one for him, but hopefully best for the team.
Brisbane, very good side. What's the message the players been this week?
Just to make sure that we continue to do what we know works, and part of that's respecting the opposition. I mean, they're a very good team, they're very good clearance, they get the ball in their front half, got some terrific players. It's always that balance, and making sure that we also play to our strengths, and getting that balance right on grand final day is always important. It's important during the year, it's important on grand final day.
You mentioned grand final day, it's great to be here. You'd love to see all that red and white in the crowd on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's fantastic to come along again and be a part of it, and you know, really look forward to seeing all of our red and white supporters and members there, as many as we can possibly get, hopefully. And great to be back in Melbourne in front of our South Melbourne crew, and hopefully plenty of people to travel down from Sydney. So terrific day, and you know, we just got to give our best shot and see what goes from there.
And there you have it. So I'm still waiting, as I mentioned, to hear on what the Brisbane Lions are going to have in line for that, but we'll see what happens. I guess it's going to be cool. As I did mention, Katy Perry is going to be performing at the AFL Grand Finals opening as well, and there is an interview done with Katy Perry from the AFL.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for
I don't really want to go through the whole thing. There's a part of your music we're going to skip through that.
Pre-game entertainment. What have you got in store for us?
Listen to this.
Well, you know, you guys use the word specky, short for spectacular. I'm just going to use the whole word. It's going to be spectacular.
It looks amazing out there.
As you can see, and we have a lot of Australians that are joining in. There's
I can't wait to see this. This is going to be cool.
150 dancers. It's going to be really fun, larger than life, super bright, and full of a lot of the songs that everybody wants to sing along to.
How do you get the set list? You've got so many hits, 5 number ones off the first album. Well, how do you whittle it down? Morning. What's your...
So she talked about football, and I'm going to stop the interview there. I want you guys to go check the interview. That was Katy Perry's exclusive interview ahead of the 2024 Toyota AFL Grand Final performance. Yeah, there you go. Got it all in one breath. And it's on AFL's official YouTube channel. Well, she touched on a point about the football in North America. The big one is, of course, is the NFL. In Canada, we've got our own CFL. But we have the halftime show. And it was just announced that the Super Bowl halftime show for the current season that we're coming into now is actually going to be Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick actually appeared in the halftime show when Dr. Dre and Snoop kind of had their collaboration where they brought in Eminem and 50 Cent and was it Missy Elliott? No, it wasn't. It was I forgot who it was. Oh my goodness, my head is gonna kill me. My son's gonna go crazy. Dad, you forgot? I did. Mary J. Blige. when they did that. And I didn't know who Kendrick Lamar was when he came out. I now know who he is quite a bit, actually. My son's a huge fan. I've learned a lot about Kendrick Lamar over the last year or so. So it's going to be cool to see that. But this Katy Perry performance, I can already picture a few of the songs in my head that she's going to be performing. I think it's going to be great. She's got some really good songs that I actually do enjoy. So I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. It's going to be an absolutely amazing time. I can't wait. I'm going to be going live. The game starts at 2:30 p.m., but I think around 1:30 is when the pre-show starts. And I might just go live then. I'm going to take a look at the timing of it all, and I'm going to adjust the timing on my YouTube video right now. You can go right to it right now and check it out. First comment, pinned comment down below is actually going to have a link to that as well. So you'll be able to just click on that link and then head on over and get yourself notified for that for when I go live to do just that. So folks, I'm excited. I hope you're excited. It's going to be great. Don't forget, as always, if you already haven't, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it on any of my future videos. Got some great content coming up to you now once the AFL finals are finished. We got NRL happening as well, so we'll be covering some of that. And of course, coming up, Bathurst 1000. But there's some really cool videos in the pipeline that I cannot wait to get out to you. And I'm super excited for what you all have been suggesting I react to. So thank you, each and every one of you, for that. Continue to do that. Don't forget to check out the Discord. Link to that is in the description. And as always, I do offer free virtual tours. There we go. For those of you who missed the last one, I will be having a video for that up on my YouTube channel pretty soon. But check it out, worldvirtualtours.online/Kevin. It's worldvirtualtours.online/Kevin. And from there, you can check out my latest, or my next tour coming up when I finally book one for that. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you join me for the live reaction as I watch and react to the AFL Grand Final. Sydney Swans versus Brisbane Lions. Go Swans. We'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, bye for now. Hey, you enjoyed that video? Well, if you did, check out this one down below. It was a lot of fun to make. I think you'll enjoy that one as well. And if you really enjoy the videos on my channel, be sure to hit that little icon over there. That allows you to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And hey, join us over on the Discord. It's a lot of fun over there as well.